Good evening everyone. I'm the storyteller and I'm here to help you today. I know you use this video to fall asleep, so before that, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, where are you from and what time are you watching now? Get comfortable and relax. The Peddler's Curse. By Black Hollow Stories, in the style of Stephen King. The town of Harrow's Edge was the kind of place where nothing ever happened. Nestled between dense woods and a river that whispered secrets to no one, it was a town forgotten by time. The people there lived simple lives, their days marked by the same routines, the same faces, the same quiet desperation. But all that changed the day the peddler arrived. He came at dusk, his wagon creaking like the bones of an old man. It was a strange contraption, painted a deep, unsettling black, with gold trim that seemed to glint even in the fading light. The peddler himself was a gaunt figure, tall and wiry, with eyes that burned like embers. He wore a long coat that seemed too heavy for the warm evening, and his voice, when he spoke, was smooth as silk but carried an edge that made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. "Good evening, good people of Harrow's Edge," he called, his voice carrying through the square. "I bring wonders from far-off lands. Trinkets and talismans, each with a story, each with a promise. Step closer, and see what fate has in store for you." The townsfolk gathered, curious but wary. They were simple people, but they knew better than to trust a stranger. Still, there was something about the peddler that drew them in, something that made them want to believe in the magic he promised. The first to approach was Martha Hargrove, a widow who had spent the last 10 years mourning the loss of her husband. She was drawn to a small, silver locket, its surface etched with intricate designs that seemed to shift and change as she held it. "This locket," the peddler said, his voice low and hypnotic, "will bring you peace. Wear it close to your heart, and you will feel the presence of your loved one once more." Martha didn't hesitate. She handed over her money, clasped the locket around her neck, and walked away with a smile on her face. That night, she swore she could hear her husband's voice, whispering to her in the dark. But by morning, she was gone. The locket lay on her pillow, cold and lifeless, and Martha was never seen again. Next was Tom Grady, a young man who had always dreamed of leaving Harrow's Edge but never had the courage to do so. The peddler offered him a compass, its needle spinning wildly before settling on a direction. "This compass will guide you to your destiny," the peddler said. "Follow it, and you will find the life you've always wanted." Tom took the compass and set off into the woods, following the needle's steady pull. He never returned. Weeks later, a hunter found the compass lying in a clearing, its needle still pointing forward, but there was no sign of Tom. Then there was Sarah Whitaker, a woman who had spent her life envying the beauty of others. She was drawn to a necklace, its pendant a shimmering gem that seemed to glow with an inner light. "This necklace will grant you eternal beauty," the peddler said, his eyes locking onto hers. "But beauty, my dear, comes at a price." Sarah didn't care about the price. She put on the necklace and felt a warmth spread through her body. By morning, her reflection in the mirror was flawless, her skin smooth, her eyes bright. But as the days passed, she began to notice something strange. Her reflection didn't always match her movements. Sometimes, it would smile when she wasn't smiling, or its eyes would follow her even when she turned away. One night, Sarah woke to find her reflection stepping out of the mirror. It was her, but not her, a perfect, beautiful version of herself, with eyes that burned like the peddler's. It reached for her, and Sarah screamed, but no sound came out. By morning, Sarah was gone, and the necklace lay on the floor, its gem dark and lifeless. The townsfolk began to whisper, their fear growing with each disappearance. They tried to confront the peddler, but his wagon was always just out of reach, always moving to the edge of town. And then there were the shadows, dark, shapeless things that seemed to follow the peddler wherever he went, lurking just out of sight. One by one, the people of Harrow's Edge fell to the peddler's curse, their souls claimed by the trinkets they had so eagerly bought. And when the last soul was taken, the peddler packed up his wagon and disappeared into the night, leaving behind a town that was empty and silent, save for the whispers of the river and the creak of the wind in the trees. But the peddler's work was never done. Somewhere, in another town, another group of desperate souls would be waiting, eager to make a deal with the devil. And the peddler would be there, his wagon creaking, his eyes burning, ready to offer them the one thing they wanted most, and take everything in return. The end.